Section 8, just straight cook the motherfucker up.
What's good, man? It's your boy, the Wallstreet Trapper, and welcome to another episode of Trappin' Tuesday. Oh, okay. I was wondering. Shit. I was wondering. I was like, they not gone. Y'all were being cute? Ain't nothing cute about the trap, you hear me? So listen, man, Tootie, turn me down a little bit in my mic. Turn me down a little bit. All right, man, so, man, we got the live audience in tonight, man. I'm so excited about that, man. So we're gonna have another amazing episode. So we wanna start off, man. True wealth, at its essence, is predicated on delayed gratification. Say that again. True wealth, at its essence, is predicated on delayed gratification. Your ability to delay buying something. Your ability to defuse the impulsive nature of spending unnecessarily. To swear away from the idea of spending money that doesn't serve you at the highest level. We're talking delayed gratification. It is such a strenuous task to an oppressed people. A people that have been financially suffocated, a people that has been financially smothered, monetarily misled by some type of faulty blueprint. We're talking about delayed gratification. It seems like a task of egregious proportions for people who have been thirsty for just a small inkling of success. We're talking about when you see people living a certain way that you know you could be living. But in some way you feel that you lack the proper resources. Delayed gratification, my friends, is truly the holy grail of building wealth. We're talking about being able to invest in yourself, invest in the assets so that your money serves you at its highest form. One must have the financial fortitude to ruminate or think deeply about the future more than you actually feel was present. It amazes me how sometimes we feel like our current position is a position that we've experienced for all too long. But how long does that experience truly last? What have we been anchored to that makes us feel like this experience is the best we can do? Is the thought of abundance illusion? Is the idea that building wealth, is it far-fetched? What is it that hinders us from actual growth? I often say that chaos breeds opportunity, but the opportunity can only be a trampoline if he or she understands the importance of execution. One of my mentors, Eric Thomas, said, execution is worship. And I kind of sat on that for a minute. Execution is worship. Execution is worship. Execution is worship. We're talking about your ability to consistently pull the trigger, your ability to consistently act, your ability to normalize taking massive action, no matter what forms it come in. We're talking execution. We ain't talk about getting it right. See, the problem that a lot of us have is we always want to get it right. But without failure, how can we truly appreciate success? As we go through winter, we scream for summer. But even in summer, we want it to rain. There cannot be one without the other. So why is it that we scared of failure? What must we unfold? How many layers must we peel back to get to the root cause of why we fear failure? We're talking about facilitating. We're talking about maneuvering. We're talking about being able to financially pass down not just money, but habits. We're talking about passing down habits. In retrospect, when we think about it, what habits have we inherited that doesn't serve us? This is why delayed gratification is so strenuous for people who've been oppressed. It isn't natural. It isn't an innate nature. It isn't a norm to delay the gratification. Why would I? I'm thirsty for success. I'm thirsty for a reprieve from a life that has overwhelmed me. How dare you tell me to delay the gratification, Trap? How dare you? The audacity. But what I will say, those who master the art of delayed gratification, those who master the art of suppressing the urge to spend, who master the art of making a dollar move so the dollar doesn't lose. A great prophet always said, or once said, when you broke, you drove, huh? When you paid, you got buku places to go, huh? A great prophet told us that. One for the history books. But think about how magical that is. When you broke, you hold on to anything that comes through. But when you get a little bit more than normal, the Amazon chart is flooded. Every vacation, you start to price it. You may even look at first class. You may get multiple colors. When you have money, you think about the experience. You cannot bypass the process. But I want to say this. You can be taught to be rich. But wealth That playbook comes from experience. Wealth, that playbook there, it must be handed down. Or you must get access to a room full of people who are familiar with the nuances of the Wealthy Playbook. There's many mistakes that must be made in order to be wealthy. There's many clauses, there's many nuances, there's many repercussions that you must face behind achieving wealth. Riches? I ain't doing nothing but acquiring some cash and being able to spend some money. Question: how many rich people have you seen go broke? Caveat: how many wealthy families have you? It usually sticks around for a few generations. So my goal is to not only become wealthy, but make it generational. Make it the new norm. Let's cut the umbilical cord of lack. Let's cut the umbilical cord of poverty. Let's cut the umbilical cord of less than. And let's give birth to wealth. Let's give birth to possibility. Let's give birth. Let's just give birth to our abundance, which is our birthright. Patience. Patience is sitting still and being able to do nothing. Delayed gratification is being able to sit still with a strategy. I don't think they caught that one. Let me say it again. It's like, I want somebody to catch it, and then when you catch it, I want you to visualize it. Patience is the ability to sit still but do nothing. I'm being patient. Delayed gratification is the ability to sit still with strategy. Delayed gratification. Trap. I'm putting my money in the market. I'm putting the money in my account, but I'm not buying the stock just yet because I'm waiting. I'm patient for the market to present me with an opportunity. Delayed gratification gives birth to opportunity. Patience, it's not always rewarded. Patience could be you sitting still wasting time. Patience could mean you not being active. Patience could be you saying, I'm just waiting for it to go lower. Patience, I'm waiting for it to go lower. Patience, fear can be disguised as patience. Fear can be disguised as patience. But delayed gratification is always a reward at the end of it. Delayed gratification is your ability to understand the reason you're being patient is for the reward that you've already visioned. Delayed gratification gets you one step closer to financial purpose. Delayed gratification gives birth to new opportunities. Delayed gratification puts you in position. Delayed gratification changes the dynamic of everything that you've been waiting on. Patience, in any given situation, we all can be patient. When something doesn't serve us at the highest level, we can say we're being patient. When we don't want to do something, we can say we're being patient. When we tired, we can say we're being patient. When we broke, we can say we're being patient. But to delay the gratification, that's a sweet victory. I think it may be of the sweetest of victories. And to congratulate that victory. Tootie, drop the beat. Hey, man. Welcome to another episode of Trappin' Tuesday. We talking about episode 38, man. We talking about tonight we gonna build out the blueprint. Tonight we gonna map it out. Tonight we gonna change some lives. Tonight we gonna break something. Tonight we gonna let the in-person audience feel the power of being in the trap. We're gonna let them understand why we inspired, why we love this. We talking about investing. Nah, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than just investing. It's about putting people in position. It's about putting people in position who you don't even know yet. It's about putting people in position who ain't even hit the egg yet. It's about putting people in position who ain't even in existence yet. Nah, we bigger than just investing. Nah, that's just the surface. That's the ABCs of the whole equation. It ain't the base. We talking about changing the dynamics of families. It's bigger than just investing. We talking about renegotiating the contract. We talking about reorchestrating. We talking about restructuring it. We talking about breathing new life in the bloodline. Nah, it's bigger than investing, y'all. Investing was got you here. The idea that you don't know how to invest is what got you in the door. It's way deeper than that. We talking about breaking some chains. We talking about unanchoring some things. We talking about shifting mindsets. Investing? That's what you thought we was doing? Nah, we trapping, fam. Matter of fact, we Wall Street trapping, fam. Tootie, turn the beat up. Hey, listen, man, if you here, I need you to come to the YouTube. The Wall Street Looks Like Us Now Network. And listen, when you get here, I need you to say, we here, trap. I need you to say, we here, trap. And just in case you don't know, we got the live audience in the building. Moving forward, we got the best trappers in the world, man. They here. They here. Give yourself a round of applause. They in the building. We got Tootie on the track. Y'all already know Tootie. In case y'all ain't know, we got Tootie on the track. My dog since the 7th grade. Yep. We got George over there calling cocaine today. Champagne poppy today. Woo-wee. I see you, boy. We got Gindy on the other camera. Shout out to Gindy, man. We got Jose in the building. Shout out to Jose. Black dude with a Spanish name. Yup. My road dog, he ride with me everywhere we go. We got a shine in the building. Most importantly, man, we got the trappers in the building. One more time, round of applause, man. All right, man, Dave, let's cue it up, man. All right, man, let's get it started, man. Welcome to Trappin' Tuesdays, man. Another amazing episode, man. We're going to make some shifts today. We're going to make some changes today. You already know the routine, man. Before we get started, listen. Let's like it. Let's subscribe to it. Let's hit the bell. Bing. Right? Let's get the views up. Let's get the likes up. We got Jose. We 21 minutes in, bruh. We at 1,500, man. Hey, the trap jumping like the Carter. I promise you, man. I promise you, man. It's going to be one of them nights. So before we get started, man, in case y'all don't know, in case you should know, this is how we start off, man, with the Trapper mantra. Yo, I came up with this because I feel like we needed something so powerful that it changed how we seen money and it changed how we saw the market. Y'all know it, man. I am a certified Wall Street trapper. I am confident in my ability to make great investments. The stock market is a machine that prints money, and I am more than capable of operating this machine. Not only will I free myself, but my family will eat for a lifetime based on the information that I apply today. I'm a money maker and a wealth builder. Today, I break the chains that anchored me to a poverty mindset. My ancestors will smile now because I have turned our last name into an asset. I love that part. My family's purchasing power will increase indefinitely. Today, I make the declaration that no longer will I be a slave to money. No longer will a generation behind me inherit lack. No longer will I submit to selling my time for money. I am a first-generation millionaire. I am the architect of my family's legacy. I am a certified Wall Street trapper, and Wall Street looks like us now. Ooh! 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 Hey! Hey, man. Hey, I think the crowd, I think they're getting it, Jose. They feeling it. They basking in it. I think we simmering right now. All right, man. So first segment is Word on the Street, man. So definitely, Jose, I'm going to tell you tonight is a white bull kind of night. Got that kind of energy going tonight. All right, so first and foremost, man, all indices was down tonight, man. Today. Now, here's the crazy part, Jose. Today, my account was looking really good. So I put a couple of option plays in today, and they were looking really good until like 3:30. I was like, bruh, that always makes me the maddest. I'm like, yo, the whole day, like, you know, when you're making some money, like your day be good. Like when you know the market done rewarded your stake in the game. I was like, I bet. I feel good about this. And then at 2:30, 3:30, somebody just got irrational. Somebody got irrational, and I was like, why they tripping? Crazy tail self. I was like, man, they tripping, man. So the Dow Jones was actually green today, so that was kind of a good look, but I don't know. Before we get into Word on the Street, Dave, let's run the Recession Portfolio. Let's get it out the way early. Let's get it out the way early. So, as we can see, I was up. So today, I put in the Ulta Beauty call, and I put in the XLE call, and crazy enough, the XLE call was up like $800. How I end the day the last 30 minutes, it's mind-boggling. Ulta Beauty for me was a great call. Today it was up $2,000. It was almost up $3,000, up $2,500. And then somebody wasn't feeling makeup. It wasn't feeling Sephora, and so. But I'm okay. The option play is going to do good. We don't have a problem with it. I did sell my NVIDIA contract. I told my people to master the triple beam. Shout out to people to master the triple beam. We did sell the NVIDIA contract. Here's why. I felt like we were entering an earnings recession, and I'll explain what that is. And I felt like not only was the tech sector going to get a little hit, but I felt like the chips were feel it. So I got out at 167. It dropped all the way down to, 267. It dropped all the way down to 264. So I got out at 267. It dropped to 262. I was like, yep, good eye, Trap. And then the next day it shoots up to 274. I'm like, God dang. But I wasn't mad because we got out of it with maybe a $3,000 win. So I ain't mad at myself for taking the profits on that. And I do want to get back in that call because I do think NVIDIA is an amazing company to own and trade options on because it's a runner. So for me, when I trade options, I like to put my plays in on companies that are runners, that can move $3 to $5 in a day. Like those are the companies that I like. So I'm giving y'all a little bit of my secret sauce. If a company can move within $3 to $5 in a day normally, that's a company that I like to look forward to. That's a company that I like to put my option plays on. With that comes extremes, up and downs, but then we dig a little deep and we peel back some layers on why we choose those companies. Ulta Beauty is a company that I've always wanted to own, but I could never get it at the right price for my buy and hold. But for my option plays, it's a different mindset behind when I do an option play and when I do a buy and hold play. A buy and hold play, I'm looking for price points. For option plays, I'm looking for cheaper contracts. That make sense? Right? So for buy and holds, I'm 100% looking for the company to be in the price range that I like. For options, I don't really care about the price range as much as I care about the contract price. Does that make sense? The contract price means more to me than the fair value with options. All right, let's go to the next one, Dave. But the recession portfolio is still portfolioing. Still doing this thing. Eli and Lilly, we'll talk about that tonight. They had a little L today. Lockheed Martin took a little L today, Meta. But overall, you can see we still up almost 11% on the recession portfolio. We whooping the market. We whooping the S&P right now. I think the S&P is up right now probably 5%, 4%. So we just doing what trappers do. We beat the market. We just beat the market. And so that's one of my goals for us as trappers. The goal for us is to be familiar and comfortable with beating the market. A lot of people talk about if I could get 6 to 8% a year, well, last year in the recession we got 17. So far this year we up 10. We do 8% in our sleep. I'm just keeping it real. If I'm keeping it a buck with y'all, like 8% is me setting a low, that's low hanging fruit. We in this game to win. We in this game to be superior. We not in this game to give them what they said I could have. Y'all know the saying, it's on the wall. If you allow them to feed you, get them what? Permission to starve you. I'm not gonna lie, 8%, I feel like you're starving me. Because I don't match myself and I don't compare myself to what others are doing. I compare myself to what I know I have the potential to do. The information unlocks so much potential in you to where what they saying don't even matter. Because if you let them tell you 8% is good, then you'll set your bar at what? 8%. Why would I set my bar at 8%? When I know people like Peter Lynch was doing 15%, 42%. I know somebody like Warren Buffett was doing 21%. Why would I set my bar that low? The goal for me as an investor is to do what? Find where the opportunities are. If it's a game of returns, then in the game of returns, price matters more than anything. That's what most people lose at in this game. They forget that price matters more than a company. Why? Because a great company isn't a great investment if you buy it at the wrong price. Tootie, I need to feel that a little more. Hey, let me see. Let simmer. Nope. There we go. So for me, the goal is not to, with my buy and hold, it's not to let them set the rules for me. It's for me to set the rules for myself. Because if we look at their rules, what does their rules say? Even Warren Buffett says it. The average investor should do what? Buy index funds. Why, Warren? When you don't even own them. Because he understood that the average investor is not going to do the research. He understood that the average investor is not going to have the what? The ability to have the delayed gratification. The average investor who gets in the market is dictated and puppeted by the fear of missing out. So because you see a stock running and you don't want to miss out on the run, guess what you do? You buy a stock at a 52-week high. Guess what you do? You follow the trend. What do? Buy a stock you know damn well you shouldn't be buying. Nothing that fundamentally supports that decision. So does that make Warren Buffett right? It depends on how you're looking at the comment. It's not right for me. It's not right for me. An index fund doesn't serve me at the highest level because I'm committed to doing the work. For me, get rich quick isn't even a thought in my pyramid. For me, there's a process that must be followed, and in that process that must be followed, there's execution points that I must adhere to. And then I stick to the plan. The biggest downfall for most of us will be we don't have a plan. And when you're freestyling against someone that has a plan, checkmate. I can guarantee you everybody on that screen, everybody in every fund has a plan. So you going against somebody that don't have a plan, you setting yourself up for failure out the gate. And you cannot freestyle your way to wealth. You must have a plan. You must have strategy. And you must be meticulous. Oh, Jose, I feel good tonight. When I start using words like meticulous, when I start saying stuff like meticulous, amen, amen, when I start saying stuff like meticulous, Tootie, don't you come out here telling me about no time. I'm telling you. I said 2.5 hours, I promise. All right, so that's the recession portfolio, man. We still doing good. And we don't have no problem with it. I do think, as you can see, I still own the NVIDIA as a buy and hold, but as an option play, I try to maneuver with it because I just have a little more fluctuation and fluidity up in that situation. Let's go left first, man. Let's go with the heat check. All right, man, so today was interesting, and I'm going to tell you why it was interesting. So if we look at the heat check, we'll see that we had 2,953,885 puts. We had 2,943,808 calls. What that tells me is this. Y'all don't know, y'all new here. When I start writing, I'm thinking the thought process out, thinking it out. What that tells me is, if we notice, there isn't that many more puts than calls. So that tells me the market isn't too fearful and it isn't that greedy. It's telling me that the market is in a neutral place. Why, Trap? Well, let's whiteboard me. So with that gives me an idea. It gives me this idea that the market hasn't found stability. So every day there's a fight between buyers and sellers. Every day there's a fight. Somebody has to win the fight. But when I look at the fight, I'm looking at who dominate the round. So for me, when I look at who dominate the round, now y'all might be in a bad spot. It's all right. It's all right. Dave, give him the screen. So what happens is this. Let's talk about your ability to fear losing money in the market. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fear that you have of losing money in the market. Watch this. So we'll write this down. Fear of L-O-N. M. Fear of losing money. So watch this. Damn, why I got L-O-M? Hell, I'm talking about. Watch this. Fear of losing money. Watch this. You actually don't have a fear of losing money. You actually have a deeper issue that we haven't uncovered. Okay? In the audience right quick, tell me something. What do you fear most about the stock market? Uncertainty. But uncertainty leads to what? What? Uncertainty leads to fear. What do you fear? Losing money. So everybody agree that their fear of the market is losing money, right? Watch this. Let's unpack it. Let's unpack it because I'm going to tell you that you don't fear losing money. Watch this. How many times this year have you spent money and haven't gotten a return on it? Every day. All right? So question. Did you lose money? Did you lose money? So you really don't have a fear of losing money. Right? Let's be real. If you spent, so the reason why you fear losing money in the market, one reason is because you say, Trap, I worked hard for that money. Am I right? In essence, you are now associating the loss with what it took you to make the money. And then your ability to get the money back. Can we agree to that? Is that a valid statement? All right, cool. Watch this. Okay, so we just want to double down on it to make sure that, so when we spend money and we don't get a return for it, in essence, that's a loss. Am I right or wrong? Can we agree to that? Yes. She like, I ain't agree. Nope, you ain't setting me up for that one, Trap. I'm with you, Queen. I ain't buying on nothing I ain't said either. But watch this. Let's go a little deeper. Because what we going to do tonight, I said tonight I want to unlock it. Because if we can get you past the fear of losing money, we can then get you in a comfortable spot, because my goal is to do a couple things. 1, build your confidence with building wealth, make investment decisions. 2, legacy. 3, being intentional about being the last generation to get it out the mud so everybody else can get it out the market. So let's go a little further right here. Watch this. Hear me well. There's a chemical inside of you that associates money with a past experience. Jose. I've been thinking on this. Watch this. There's something in you that associates money with a past experience. Just hear me. What was the culture around money that you experienced before you got in adulthood? First thing, we're gonna attach 3 things to it. First, when you hear money and you hear loss, what is the emotion that is attached to it? That's the first thing. When you hear money, when you hear loss, what is the emotion that is attached to it? All right. Next. This the one right here. This the one we gonna tap on a little heavy. When you hear money, when you hear loss, the emotion that you feel triggers an action. What is the action that you do when you hear or feel loss of money? Tell me about it. There we go. We got avoidance. We got to get it back. So we shift. When we hear loss of money, we make a shift. We cringe, we move, But immediately inside, something says we got to pivot. We go into fear, or we go into survival mode, protect mode. Am I right? If I'm wrong, say, nope, that ain't me, Trap, you lying. I could lose money and keep on going. For me, that's where I'm at now. Losing the money don't, because I know it's part of the game. Watch this. First, there's an emotion that takes place, and then there's an action that takes place. You with me on that? There's an emotion, and then there's an action that takes place, and that causes a trigger. That trigger is connected to a trauma. Oh, my God. I've been thinking on this, y'all. This how the show wound up being 3 hours. Damn. I did not mean for this to happen. I'm lying, I did. I knew this was going to happen before I started. All right, so what? But I promise y'all, once we get past this part of it, something going to unlock. So let's think about it. First, there's an emotion that takes place when we think about losing money, and then there's an action that takes place. That action causes a trigger. Then the chemical is let loose. So watch this. As you grew up or as you got into your adult life, what you saw people respond to money a certain way. And whether you like it or not, you inherited that whole idea of loss a certain way. Walk with me. Every time you thought about the loss of money, what happened was, I'm going to go a little scientific, but not too far, you create what's called a neurological pathway in your brain. All right, now what that is, I want you to think about something. Easy way to look at it. I'm telling my age, but I don't care. I'm 40. So what? We saw DuckTales growing up, right? Woo. Remember we saw Scrooge McDuck always walking in that circle? Well, that circle then digs a ditch or excavation because he walked around it so much. What happens is when you associate loss of money with something for so many years, you dig a ditch in your brain. I'm telling y'all this real talk. You dig a ditch in your brain that associates loss of money with that emotion. So now when you see loss of money, you go right back to that comfortable space. You sit in it and you associate with it every time. Okay, why are you telling me that, Trap? Why is that important, Trap? Because what we got to do is we have to fill that space. We got to fill that space, all right? How do we fill the space, Trap? How do we fill that space? We got to increase our capacity. Okay? You went from one thing to another, Trap, but you haven't gave me the instructions because I need you to walk with me. You got to increase the capacity to face losing money. How do I do that, Trap? The market that we're in right now is the perfect market for you to increase your capacity. Why? Because the market will go through so many ups and downs where if you stand in it and embrace the loss, what happens is it increases your capacity. How? Let's think about something. We know some people that know how to swim. They can be on a yacht and they'll jump in the water off the boat. And some people can be like, bro, you crazy. I don't care how pretty that water is. I'm not jumping in there. Why? Confidence. Confidence. But they've increased their capacity to swim in any water. How did they do that? They started in 3 feet. Then they jumped in 6 feet. And then something crazy said jump in 12 feet where you can't touch the bottom no more. And then from 12 feet, you felt like, you know what? Like, it don't matter because I can swim in 3, 6, and 12. I can swim in the ocean. So you jump off yachts. You jump into oceans. You go, if you're in New Orleans, you go to Biloxi, wherever you go at, you jump in the water. The same thing happens with money. Watch this. Because we've never walked with the fear of losing money, every time we think about losing money, we dig a deeper ditch. Let's go a little further, because I need y'all to get this. If we get this, I promise you, we look at the market completely different. I promise you. So watch this. There's also dopamine that lets off in your mind and in your body when you make money. So how many of us feel good when we make money? Bet. You made some money today in the market, fam. Boy, you broke, boy. You don't know. You big broke, boy. Right? The more we make money, the more we do what? Build our confidence. Because a chemical is let off in us when we make money. Making money is a sign of progress to us. We associate losing money with what? Lack of progress, regression. But what we got to do is, I'm telling you, man, I promise you, if we get this, when we get this, not if, because I'm going to punch this down. When we get this, we've unlocked something new. Let's go a little deeper. So the market we in right now, we've already seen it go up for 10, 12 days and then drop for 10, 12 days. The 10, 12 days we go up, everybody hit me. Trap, I'm making money. Trap, that thing printing money. Good job, Trap. But when that thing get red, man, Trap, tell me what to do. Trap, should I sell? No. The caveat to that is this. Now, this is the caveat, y'all. The only way this works, man, I apologize for y'all. We're going to do something for y'all next time. I promise. We're going to put it on the screen or something. This is the triangle offense, though. I'm going to just put QC. Quality companies is number one. It's hard for you to build confidence when you're investing based off information somebody else gave you. It's hard for you to build confidence trying to invest in AMC. It's hard for you to build confidence trying to invest in Hertz. It's hard for you to build, you may make some money, but in your heart, you know that was a guess. In your heart, you knew that wasn't your information. So in your heart, you really didn't trust it. So when you bought the AMC or you bought the Hertz or you jumped on a trend, 9 times out of 10, you watch that all day, every day. You on a job. Get off your phone, man. I'm making money. You tripping. You broke. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm making money over here. But you checking it because there was no confidence in you. There was no surety in you. You knew that was somebody else's homework, so that puts you at a disadvantage. One, we only invest in quality companies. That's number one out the gate. Number two, watch this. Reason. This is the triangle offense. We're going to take the triangle offense and we're going to mix it with what I'm saying. It's going to unlock it. Two, we got to have a reason why we there. Because if we invest in a quality company but we don't know the reason why we there, we're still at a disadvantage. Why? Because we don't have an idea of what the business does or how the business make money. So my reason has to be attached to, one, why I'm here, and I'm going to put money. We got to understand how they make money. Y'all with me? All right, check it out. The third one is this. So we got the quality company We got the reason why we here. Watch this. Reason not to buy. I always find a reason why not to buy a company. The hell, Trap? You just told me I need to have a reason why I buy it. If you can find the reasons why you shouldn't buy the company, that will keep you from buying companies that you don't understand. That will keep you from wasting money trying to buy every dip. Our goal for me is to find 5 good reasons why I should not buy this company. I say no more than I say yes, but when I do say yes, we beat the market by 17%. When I do say yes, we up by 11% first quarter. Does that make sense? We trapping? All right, let's go. Triangle offense. Okay, Trap, let's get back. I feel that, but you ain't tapped into the chemical imbalance I got with losing money. Okay, let's go. So watch this. If we buy a quality company and we got the reason why to buy it, and we figured out the reasons why not to buy it, this is good. The market goes up 76% of the time. Now we're about to tap in. Watch this. If the market goes up 70% of the time and we found reasons to buy a company, this about to be good. This about to be good. If the market goes down and we know it's a quality company, do we sell it? If the market goes down and we know we bought a quality company, over the long term, do we make money or do we lose money? So why we fear? So what's the fear? What's the fear? Watch this, y'all. We're going to go a little further. I'm going to stay here, though. I'm going to stay here. Tootie, don't you, dang, Tootie, leave me alone. All right, so watch this. If we understand that part, are we getting it? Like, are we really getting it? Now I feel like I'm in class. I'm not even on the episode no more. Damn, YouTube, man, let me step over some more. Are we really getting it? Is it making sense? All right, check this out. Hear me out. If we understand that component, then watch this. Quality company, QC, goes up. We feel good. Quality company goes down. Our account turns red when the market goes down. It's okay. But if we bought a quality company, that doesn't stop that emotion from triggering. The emotion doesn't not trigger overnight. Here's how we increase our capacity. Buying a quality company was step 1. When the market goes down, this is how we reverse engineer this thing. Quality company, market goes down, first instinct is to sell. But the sell puts you back into the Scrooge McDuck path. In order to increase our capacity, we got to stand in it. We got to stand in it. The best way to stand in it buy more. The problem is you won't get it right. I'm telling you, I need you to increase your capacity. I don't need you to get it right. I just need you to be in position. Stop focusing on getting it right. Let's go through the fundamentals. let's get comfortable with buying more when we won't run away so that we can buy more and win. Am I making sense? The one thing I can't teach you is how to feel emotionally when you see your account in the red. It's the one thing I can't teach you. But what I can walk you through is if we buy quality companies and the account turn red, we stand in it by buying more of the company anyway. What that does is, if you do that often enough, oh my God. Oh my God. If we do that often enough, then we do this. Refill the trench. You got to realize you've been having that trench in your head since you was a kid. So that emotion doesn't go away overnight. But if we do this consistently, only buy quality companies, understand the reason why we bought the companies, look for reasons why not to buy the companies, I promise you, you will not have 3,000 companies. I promise you will have about 10 to 15 companies, and you just buying them all. You just buy. Now we putting money, remember the money we was wasting every day because everybody said we waste money? Guess what? We funnel that money. Golly, this is a master class. Jesus. You sure this was $97? We funnel that money into the account. So now what we've done two things. We've killed the urge to spend some money because we still spent it because it's a psychological warfare. We still spent the money. We just put it in the account. We still spent the money. We still scratched the itch. Scratch the itch on something that's going to serve us. So we scratch the itch on something that serves us, we still release the chemical. Releasing the chemical helps us build the bridge. Building the bridge makes us better investors. I just flamed y'all just now. God damn. Jesus. Welcome to Trappin' Tuesday, episode 38, y'all. How y'all feel? I like it. I like it. Y'all, let's take it down again. We'll be back later on, though. I know it. It's in me tonight. All right. Let's move a little further, man. All right, so here's the heat check right quick, man. Just giving us an idea of what's happening. Microsoft was down. Apple was down a little bit. Nvidia was down a little bit. Google. What we see that's running. Actually, financials did good today. Look at my baby right here. Where's she at? American Express. I just cannot. I just need to get this company. I'm mad that my XLE is down, but I'm in the right position. I made the right call. We got to just sometimes take a little minute to work in our favor. We all right. Let's go a little further. All right, so here's the best companies from Q1 that did good. Nvidia did good, up 90% in just in the first quarter. That's crazy. Meta, I mean, I'm going to just be real with y'all. The blue checks is going to add more to that bottom line. Everybody mad at the people buying blue checks? I'm happy they buying blue checks. Keep buying them, y'all. $14.99. Matter of fact, I'm going to promote it. Buy your check, $14.99, fam. Go get verified, fam. The hackers going, listen, the people making a fake page are trying to sell people crypto. Go buy your badge, family. Go buy your badge, family. Don't worry about what they're talking about. They hating. Let them hate. Haters gonna hate. When the hate don't work, they start telling lies. It's all right. Tesla up 68%. We're gonna talk about it tonight. Surprising to me was Warner Brothers Discovery. I'm surprised, a streaming company. But then Align Technology. I'm not gonna lie, I've owned this company for about 3 years. This is a prime example of me buying a company and doing exactly what I just told y'all to do. I was up on this company maybe 20-something%. Last year, it got the brakes beat off of it. But I just kept buying more of it. In case you don't know who this company is, Align Technology, have you ever heard of Invisalign? That's the company that make them. Their nearest competitor is Smile Direct. It's not even close. It's not even close. It's a great company. I love the company. I'm not telling you to buy it, but guess what I did? I followed the same format I told y'all to do, and guess what? We knocking it out the park this year with it. It happens. I want y'all to understand something. It's okay for a great company to have a bad year. It's okay. It's okay for your company to have a bad year. Just because the market is not rewarding your company in the moment, it does not mean that it's not a good company. Sometimes the market just be tripping. It's full of irrational people. It's full of irrational people. And then when prices fall, damn, I should have put that thing up here. Never mind, I'll let that ride. When prices fall down, it raises concern. When prices go up, it increases confidence. Let the people who are going to be concerned be concerned. Increase your confidence when they increase their concern. Y'all hear me on that? Increase your confidence when they increase their concern. So when they start worrying, you start buying. All right, let's go a little further. Let's go a little further, Dave. All right, so these are the sectors that actually is getting a butt whooping this year. Materials, which is your gold, your stuff like that, but gold is actually up. Healthcare is down this year. Technology, it's up, but here's the thing about technology that people don't get. It's only a couple companies that's running right now in technology. It's not the whole technology sector as a whole. It's only a few companies that's running. Your job as an investor is to find out where those companies are, or what are the companies that the market isn't rewarding that you can find at a discount. Does that make sense? Figure out what companies the market isn't rewarding and buy them at a discount. And then communication services, that's your AT&Ts, your Verizons, they're taking the beating this beginning of the year. Let's go a little further. All right, this is important. We are on verge. Y'all know when I say I start scribbling, I'm starting. Of an earnings recession. Trap, what does that mean? Well, it typically just means that the earnings that businesses in the market have made are going down. Does that make sense? So earnings are profits overall that a business makes every year. Well, last quarter, those profits went down. This quarter is estimated to go down by 5%, meaning companies are going to make less money, right? So even though a company may make earnings, they still are making less than what they were expected to make. Does that make sense? All right. And it's actually predicted that in second quarter, the earnings will go down by 4%. So Trap, how do they get these expectations? Well, what they're doing is they're looking at, one, weakness in the consumer spending. So one of the things they look at is how me and you spend money. If our spending goes down in the world, in America, then that also means what went down? Profits. Always remember that I keep telling y'all the stock market is a forward-looking mechanism. They're always looking forward. So they want to know what is happening in the future. If the future doesn't look bright, the market will not reward it. Because the market is designed to go up 77% of the time. The market wants to go up. The market is designed for me and you to win. This is why I need us to get past the fear, because if we don't get past the fear, we continuously miss the opportunity to double and triple our net worth. If we continuously miss the opportunity to double and triple our net worth, we continuously miss the opportunity to build wealth. If we continually miss the opportunity to build wealth, we truly miss the opportunity to turn our last name into an asset. If we continually miss the opportunity to turn our last name into an asset, how can we truly say we are unanchoring ourselves from financial trauma? If we are truly not unanchoring ourselves from financial trauma, how can we rewrite the whole diaphragm of how our family looks at money? So let's go back to the beginning. We must partake in the game, y'all. This is not I'm going to be real with y'all. At this point, it's not even much an option. At this point, it's for our livelihood. At this point, it's for the people that come behind us. At this point, it's for us. At this point, it's so we don't drown. At this point, if you're on the sideline, if you being patient because you scared, you setting yourself up for failure. At this point, if you not saying, we got companies that you use every day. Everybody know me because y'all on what? Some type of what? Social media. Facebook up 70-some% this year. At this point, why are you not on that company? At this point, you on Apple. Why are you not in that company? At this point, I'm not trying to tell you go find the next Amazon. I'm not telling you go find the next Tesla. I'm not telling you go find the next nothing. I'm telling you Tesla's still a banger. Amazon still a banger. Apple still a banger. Google still a banger. Facebook still a banger. I'm not telling you go search for nothing. I'm telling you the data is right in front of you and you got some type of fear that you don't really have a fear. You just scared, but you ain't really scared. You just don't understand the game enough. And because you want to be a lazy investor, because you want to build wealth the lazy way, you going to subscribe to Trap. I'm scared to lose money. But there can be no growth without disruption. You cannot give birth to a child without a woman's stomach getting big, her waist getting big, her hips getting big, her feet getting big, nose might get a little big. You got to love her through all that. Why? Because she being disrupted. She being disrupted. She giving birth to something. You cannot give birth to wealth without wanting to disrupt something. You cannot live in your norm and then want something new. No, you got to give up the norm. You got to give up being comfortable. You got to be what? Uncomfortable. You got to do what? Disrupt the parallels. I ain't telling you nothing. Listen. I get here because I was the disruptor. My mama went to jail. My grandmother went to jail. I went to jail. If I don't disrupt, guess where my daughter gonna go? Probably jail. Probably. It's in our cards. Somebody gotta be the disruptor. And you can't keep blaming it on, I'm scared, Trap. How much money you got sitting in the Amazon cart? How much impulsive spending you do? I'm gonna just keep it real. On GP, how many times you DoorDashed? How many times you Uber Eated? How many times you jumped on the Lyft? How many times you jumped on an Uber because you don't feel like driving? I'm not saying it's the best investment decision every time, but what I am saying is I would rather you own that than to just keep spending the money. Because you ain't got no financial discipline. So you gonna keep blaming it on, I'm scared, Trap. How many vacations you took that you ain't supposed to take? I saw everybody going to Tulum. God damn. Them tickets cheap. But what we ain't realizing, we would rather waste some money and label fear to invest than to say, I'm going to go learn how to invest. I'd rather take the war wounds from losing a little money to get better. Check it out. Real talk, I lost $100,000 in PayPal last year. This year, I'm up $114,000. Last year, I ended the year up $250,000. Why? Because the war wounds be necessary. You scared to get cut. You scared to get burnt. How you gonna win? You comfortable right there. You don't really want change. It just sound good. You gotta change for what you say you want, or you gotta change what you say you want, fam. And that ain't negotiable. That is a non-negotiable. if you're going to be the one to change your family dynamic, if you're going to be the one to restructure the contract, my little cousin in here tonight, I say, yo, you get ready. At some point, you're going to have to do something in this company. At some point, I got my cousin right there on the camera, my other cousin on support. Her daughter, guess what? She got a job waiting on her. And not just a job, she'll have a job when she's young, but once she get right, you get part ownership. Nepotism at its finest. It's a wealth strategy. Only we feel some type of way. Or they putting their family members on. So that's how the game go. What you talking about? Go put your family on. Go build something to put your family on. Go create your own table so you ain't got to worry about them putting you at their table. You ain't got to worry about them feeding you, and you damn sure ain't got to worry about them starving you. Now's the opportunity. You patient because you scared. You patient because you cool with having them toxic ass relationships with money. You patient because you don't want change. You patient because it's an excuse. And the excuse only look good and sound good to the person that's making it. Let's go, man. All right, Tootie. It's one of them nights. It's not going to be 3 hours, I promise. All right, let's go, man. What we got next? So we'll get into this. I want y'all to understand this. I like this. I'm going to be real with y'all. We came up with this today. With everything that's going on with the dollar, it is important that we learn how to diversify, y'all. So another company that I was looking at today is a company called Barrick Gold. Let me just put this out here first and foremost, y'all. I try to go buy a kilo, 2 kilos of, no, not of that. No. I went try to go buy 2 kilos of gold last week in the mixture that I like, and yo, they were sold out on 3 sites. That's when I knew it was real. I said, oh, some people scared. There's some fear out there. There's some fear there. So a company that I look at was Barrick Gold. It's a great company. I think it's up 17% on the year. When I see companies like this up 17% on the year, that means they've been politicking, right? So 58% of their production is in North America. 37% of their production is in Africa and the Middle East. 5% of their production is Latin America. Now, what I love about this and what I feel like everybody on your wealth building journey, you should at least own some type of physical gold. It's non-negotiable. Here's why. Even though you cannot spend it like the dollar, the value of it is what gives you financial strength. So let's go a little further. Let's think back. Most of us can think back to like Egyptians and Egypt and Kemet, depending on how you're looking at Africa. What was the stored value? Gold. The rubies was good. The diamonds was okay. The Persian rugs and the Egyptian rugs was cool. But it was about gold. I'm keeping it real. The silver was okay. It was all about gold. Let's fast forward. As we keep going forward, go back. And as we go forward, we realize that gold has always been in the mix. It ain't never not been in the mix. Yes, own stocks. Yes, own real estate. But you 100% should own some type of gold. Whether it's an ounce of gold, 2 ounces of gold. I preferably would say, man, every year buy something. Every year buy something. Now, here's the thing. Go a little further. I'm going to give y'all some trap commandments right here. Do not have the gold sitting in your house. It's an easy come up. Either the company you buy it from has a gold storage, there's a gold storage in where you're from, or safe deposit box, depending on the bank. Now, that can also be a little tricky. You don't want nobody seeing, I don't trust the banks. They gave me the lock, but they got a lock too. You best believe it. They got a key. They got the master key. They ain't gonna master key my gold. So I will say that. Find a gold storage. That's the safest place because it's insured. They make sure it's max protection. But do not, y'all, do not put the gold in your house. And don't be showing everybody you got the gold. Delayed gratification. The thirstiness for showing people I got a brick of gold. I got a kilo of gold. Y'all got keys. I got a kilo of gold. Don't do it. Let's get out of it, all right? So I like this company. Let's go a little further. Watch this. So the cost of production of gold, 4.2 to 4.6 million ounces. Cost of sale, they're getting it for, look at this inflation. Look at that inflation. 12 to 1100, guess how much they charging though? Ooh, 2,000. Play no game. It's always a cost for somebody selling you something. Learn how to sell something. Put your own price to it. And we got it here, total cash cost per ounce. What you want to do though is Rome got in trouble back in their day because Rome faced inflation as well. And one of the things Rome did was they mixed their gold with tin and they mixed their gold with nickel. That's what got Rome in trouble. Trap, how you know that? Because I love war, I love politics, and I love to understand what made great countries fall, great empires fall. Rome, in order to be the big dog, you got to go to war. You got to fight wars to be the big dog. Wars cost money. Rome tried to cheat the game. They tried to cheat the game. They extended their hand all over the world, but then with inflation and with war costs, they started mixing their gold with nickel. They started mixing their gold with tin, and people realized that, yo, that ain't it. People always talk about the fall of Rome. One of the reasons the fall of Rome was inevitable because they started running out of money. Just in case you ain't know. One of the reasons why the fall of Rome was they started messing up. They started printing money. That's essentially what they did. They started, yo, this 100%, nope, step on it. 60% it is. The more you fight, the more you go to Persia and these different countries, guess what? 40%. Now the gold ain't gold no more, it's yellow. It's Trappin' Tuesday gold. It's honey mustard now. Nobody want to buy honey mustard gold. All right, let's go a little further. All right, so here's where inflation is hitting us at the hardest, and I think this is important for us to see. Airfare. Y'all know this price of airplanes going, tickets going up. Household energy, rent, food at restaurants, housing, it goes down when we talk about gasoline, college tuition, Medicare, I think the line right there, prescription drugs, transportation, clothing. But airfare, and because we see that commercial traveling has picked up. So here's how we know commercial travel picked up. The reason why we know commercial travel picked up because I look at airplane companies, Delta, Southwest, their earnings have increased. How do we know that energy is also where inflation goes at? Because their earnings have increased. How do we know rent is it? Because everybody that's paying rent has what? Increased. So that's how I can tell that these are 100% places where inflation is hitting a little hard. Let's go a little further. All right, I want to give y'all a timeline right here. I want to talk to y'all about this. This is important. I'm not going to go too crazy on this, but this is important for us to know. It's important for us to understand. All right, so I want us to look at the timeline of the dollar. And the reason why I want us to understand this is because there were countries that were prominent before the dollar. All right? China had a long run. China had a long run at running the world. Then after China, we got to, I want to say that's where Africa came in. They became the breadbasket for a long time, and then they lost gold. And then after that, we got into a situation where I'm fast forwarding a little bit. We get to Rome. From Rome, we're going to fast forward a little more. We get into the new America. Now, mind you, as long as America has been here, America didn't become the world reserve until 1944. And this is why I want us to tap in at. All right. 1944, America becomes the world reserve currency. What does that mean? That means the world adapted to the idea that because America had the gold, we would buy things in the U.S. currency. Everybody with me on that? But in order for it to become the world currency, there's foreign central banks around the world. Right? So there's central banks around the world. These banks say, okay, if you want to get sanctioned, we're going to do it in American money. We holding this money in this currency. Well, they have American dollars. Everybody with me? American dollars now represent 59% of the money used around the world. So what I want to do right now is I want to show y'all that even though people talking about the dollar is about to lose and all that, that don't happen overnight. So let me disattach you from that fear. That takes a few decades to happen. Now, will it happen? I think so. It's going to take some time, though. It ain't going to happen tomorrow. Your dollar is still good, y'all. All right. So what happens is American dollar is 59% of the money used around the world. The next is the euro at 19%. The next is the yen. I got you. The yen. The next is the sterling. The next is the wine. The wine is only used at 3%. 3% of the world use the wine. That's the Chinese dollar. So while people are fearing that the Chinese dollar will take over America, they have to convince the rest of the world that their dollar is structured and supported. Okay, let's go a little further. 1971, this is important for us to know because I want to teach us how we get in this situation. 1971, Richard Nixon comes up with this idea. But the idea don't come out of nowhere. I want to get on the whiteboard, but I don't want to. Richard Nixon comes up with this idea that we need to take the dollar off the gold Bretton Woods agreement. So where did that idea come from? That idea came from, watch this, Japan had an idea that because the dollar was backed by gold, that's where the Toyotas and the Honda, the Volkswagens, start being sold in America. As they sold cars to America, gold left America. Oh, we getting into it right now. This is a little history lesson by Trap. As Japan starts to sell the Volkswagen and the Honda to America, America has to send gold because you can only shift off, sell off what you can support in gold. Y'all with me? Richard Nixon says, yo, but he right. If we don't stop that, we gonna run out of gold and that's gonna make them powerful. Nobody wants to lose power. Nobody wants to lose power. So Richard Nixon says, yo, this ain't gonna work. We have to stop them from either selling the cars here or we gotta take the dollar off the gold. But also, watch this, y'all. If you go look at it, 1971, America was battling inflation. It was at a high. From 71 to 74, then they battled again in 82. In 82, it was the worst inflation ever. That's when Ronald Reagan came in. So Reaganomics became a thing in America. So watch this. 71, Richard Nixon takes the dollar off the gold. He says, yo, it's only temporary. But what happens is Richard Nixon gets impeached. When Richard Nixon gets impeached, America says, yo, there's no way we putting the dollar back on the gold standard. Why? Because we get to print money freely. Y'all with me? We get to print money freely. I said this before. If you give everybody in here access to the bank, the only person that won't go to the bank is Jesus Christ. The church gonna find a reason to buy pulpits. Everybody gonna find a reason to spend some money because you got free access to it. Don't care who you is. You give people free access to money, they gonna spend it. They gonna print it. So they print money. Watch this. 1981, after years of hyperinflation, the US dollar loses 2/3 of its purchasing power. So what happens is America then starts to lose value in the dollar. So then we create the deal to do what? Petrodollar. We create the deal. Yo, now we gonna buy, listen, check this out, y'all. You gotta buy oil in the dollar. We need to attach it to something. So now in order to buy oil around the world, everybody agreed that in order to buy oil around the world, you have to buy it with the US dollar. You with me? So now that we're not backing our gold no more, we printing money, we realize, yo, gotta pump our brakes. Because the dollar right now is just an IOU. We gotta attach it to something that we're not gonna put it on gold. At the time, America had the biggest gun. You got the biggest gun, you still got the world reserve currency, you still got power. We gotta now force people to do what? Sell oil in what? American dollar. I don't care who you is, I don't care where you come from, you gotta sell oil in American dollar. If not, it's gonna be a problem. But at the time, nobody wants to go to war with America. We making sense right now? All right, let's go a little further. Boom. Saddam tries it. Man, ain't nobody worrying about y'all, bro. You tripping. Guess what happened? HW. Said, we going to war, dog. We got to make an example out you. Saddam runs into the ground. That's the war you was on, huh, cuz? Saddam goes to the ground. They bombed him like 7 times. Saddam like, bro, they not playing. They got big old guns, dog. They got big guns, and I don't think we ready for that just yet. So we make an example out of Saddam, but we don't kill him. I'm saying we like, I ain't we at all. I'm not we, y'all. I'm not we, but I live here. So after this situation, America says, all right, yo, like, let's rock. But watch this. We not paying attention to China. Now, mind you, China had been in rebuilding phase for a long time because they got demolished. So we not looking at China. Russia going through what they going through with the Soviets, the Red, we ain't worrying about them. So America for some years sitting at big dog unchallenged. So what happens is we start eating away at ourselves from within. We start spending money like crazy. We start having Republican Democrat battles. They can't agree. The poor people, the middle class, the working class, we suffer because the more they print money, the more they get wealthier. And because we don't got that playbook, our money consistently losing value. So because our money losing value, the only way that we know and our people know how to make money is not through investing, is by breaking our backs. But guess what? We get a cold-blooded soldier in the game by the name of Ronald Reagan. And guess what he said? We're going to attach the dollar to some dope. That's what we going to do. So Ronald Reagan tries to get some guns from some war dogs, South America. America says, nah, dog, you can't do that as blatant like that. We can't let the world know we trying to sell dope and buy illegal guns. We definitely not about to do that. Ronald Reagan said, all right, cool, bet. Back door. I'm Ronald Reagan. You're not going to tell me what I can't do. He back door. He cuts a deal with Nicaragua. Listen, I know my history, y'all. He cuts the deal with Nicaragua. Nicaragua gets the guns over, but Nicaragua says, guess what? We sell 90% of the dope in the world. I'm going to get you the guns, but you got to let me get the dope over there. Reagan says, bet. Guess what? You can sell the dope all you want. I'm going to turn my ear. Just let me get the gun. Well, where we going to sell the dope at? The poor neighborhoods. They don't got nothing anyway. Guess what? Blacks, Hispanics, they ain't got nothing anyway. But guess what? Cocaine is not the drug of choice. It's too high. It costs too much. The birth of crack cocaine comes into play. Then we get the birth of crack cocaine. We get the birth of crack cocaine. What happens when we get the birth of crack cocaine? This beautiful thing we know as Reaganomics. Black or street capitalism is what it's called. You get street capitalism. I bet. Well, if you flood the streets, the low, and you put them in projects, which is what they call on purpose and intentionally, then now we can monitor the behavior. If we monitor the behavior, then we also know how to do what? Control them. Because what we don't realize is this. Before 82, in 70s and the 60s, yes, there were, in 65, yes, we were fighting for rights. But in 72, I'm lying, between 75 and 81, there was this thing called affluent Black America. Said it again. Go check my stats. Between 75 and 81, there was this thing called affluent Black America. That's where you got shows like The Jeffersons. Why we give birth to the Jeffersons? Why? Because Jeffersons gave us a visual of someone coming from the bottom going to the top. It was the birth of new black economics. Go look up the numbers. 1979, more black home ownership than ever in America. They gave birth to what's called the black middle class. Go look at it. I bought the Time magazine. It was like $79. I bought it. 1979, you give birth of the black middle class. More black people was going to college. More black people had paying jobs. More black people was moving from the ghettos and moving to suburban America. Thus, you get the idea of we moving on up. Let's go a little further. Again, we get Reaganomics. Reaganomics does what? Cripple who? The affluent black middle class. So then what do? We keep people with prominent jobs. We get people with good jobs at the time. What happens when you get a father who's a provider on crack? You get a broken family. What happens when you get a mother that is suppressed by the father that's on crack? Now you get single family neighborhoods. Now you get a mother that turns to drugs. Or you get sons and daughters that turns to drugs. Then you get the birth of what? Crack babies, which really wasn't a thing. It was a thing that they titled on us. Go look at the stats. When the term crack babies came out, only 2% of children on crack were black. Wasn't even a real fact. But guess who controlled the media? White America. Guess who runs the world? White America. Guess who runs the media? Who tells us how to think? White America. Guess what we start thinking? Crack babies was a real thing. But guess what crack babies did? Crack babies gave white America the idea to do what? Now I can break up the home a little further. What can I do now, Trap? I can now test this woman and now take her kids away from her. Doing what? Putting children in the system. So now what happens when we get this birth of Reaganomics? We get black fathers in jail. We got single family homes. We got children growing up in the system. Now we give birth to dysfunctional black America. But all the while, the dollar is regaining its strength. So even during Reaganomics, we became the asset for somebody else by your demise. Your demise, my demise, her demise, his demise. The demise of our family came at the building up the power of the dollar, which means poor black Americans have always been the asset whether you were the asset they were using during slavery, whether you were the asset used in the criminal justice system, or whether you were the asset they used to pump coke in America to cripple our neighborhoods, you, my friend, you, my brother, you, my sister, have always been the asset. You just didn't know it. Let's go a little further, though. How y'all feeling? Welcome to Trappin Tuesdays. Welcome to Trappin Tuesdays. Welcome to Trappin Tuesdays. I hope y'all love the experience. Let's go a little further, man. So then we get 2007 and 2008. Boom, we gonna just speed that up. I can't speed that up. I gotta back it up a little bit. We get 1994, we get Bill Clinton served the crime bill. We cannot talk about the power of the dollar. We cannot talk about the rise of America. We do not talk about Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. We cannot talk about the crippling effects they had on America. We cannot talk about that because we gave birth to what? The prison industrial complex. Remember, the dollar is not backed by gold, so it got to be backed by some type of asset. We attach it to oil, we attach it to cocaine, and then we attach it to what? Prisons, which gave birth to what? Private prisons. Private prisons were backed up by companies like who? Walmart. I know your history, Sam. That's why I can't buy Walmart. I know your history. That's why I can't shop at Walmart. I know your history. I'm not saying every country, probably every business that's prominent in America probably has something, but at least that's outright. I know your business. So Walmart, a couple other companies were attached to what? Lobbying. What is lobbying? Pay some money to get this bill passed. If this bill passes, it works in my favor. Okay? This is why people won't ban guns in America. Why won't they ban guns in America, Trap? Because so many businesses make money off you doing what? Killing each other. So many businesses. I don't know if y'all remember. I may be too old. I may be older. Y'all may be too young. But I remember at one point in time, you used to go to Walmart and buy guns. Give me that one. You used to go to Walmart and buy guns. This was the thing. They had the gun section. It wasn't the hunting section. It was the gun and ammo section. This is facts. So, watch this. Private prisons got paid to do what? Keep the jails full. How do we keep the jails full? 3 strikes you out. What does 3 strikes you out do? Mandatory minimums. What does that do? Cripple the black family. More single mothers. More children growing up without fathers. Some children even growing up without mothers and fathers. Who's raising the children in? The system. Or grandma. Can grandma raise you? No. She tried her best. All of that to keep the dollar powerful. So there's so many underlying events that take place to keep the dollar at its prominence that we don't understand. So I want you to understand something. You got to start worshiping something that kept us in bondage for the longest and we didn't even know it. I'm telling you not to worship the money. I'm telling you buy the assets so you can buy your freedom. I don't care about the money. I want the assets so I can free my family so they'll never be subjugated to what happens when people don't have money. So they'll never feel the wrath of being someone else's project. Because the one thing we do know about America, it will come up with a scheme to stay on top. Let's go a little further. So then we get 2007 to 2008. What happens in 2007 to 2008? Well, America does what America does. What happens when a greedy country prints money? They keep printing, and they don't stop printing until one day it all falls down. But guess who suffers even then? Same old story, same old song and dance. Poor, black, lower class, middle class, working class. Why do you suffer? Because America bails out the banks. America bails out the car dealerships. They bail them out. But the people who couldn't afford the houses, the people who went homeless, we still got people trying to get shake back from 2008, 2009. We still got people trying to shake back from that. We're going to fast forward. We're going a 13-year run of America in growth phase. What is America doing? Low interest rates, no interest rates. America gets to do what? Rebuild. How did they get to rebuild, Trap? Banks are loaning businesses money. Businesses are booming. Low interest rates. Stock market on a 13-year run. But because we were still in recovery mode, we didn't get a chance to partake in that. Because we were still trying to recover from the crack epidemic. We were still trying to get moms off of drugs. We still trying to get our cousin out of rehab. He done relapsed 17 times. We still trying to fight to get daddy out of jail. We still trying to get our cousin out of jail. We still trying to fight. Now they done went from crack to heroin. We still trying to get our people off of drugs. We still trying to recover physically, emotionally, and economically. We still trying to recover. That's a hard pill to recover from. They just lost a little money, so we're going to print some money, yo. Let's print some money. What happens in 08 and 09? You give birth to great companies like Apple, Facebook, all these other companies. You give birth to them. Companies that change the world. How they get started? Amazon was in debt for 19 years. Go look at it. Amazon was in debt for 19 years. And then out of nowhere, it became $1 trillion company. Because sometimes all you need is a little money to get you going. How come we can't ever get that little money to get us going? Because it's not designed. So the golden objective is for me to go back to where I started from. Gotta inherit the idea and the habit of delayed gratification. Because if we unfold the story, we have always been the guinea pig. We have always been the lab rat. We have always been the scapegoat. Why? Because we ain't never had no money. We ain't never had no assets. We ain't never had enough liquidity to go get a seat at the table. And nobody don't want to talk, and nobody don't respect the brokest person in the room. I don't care who you is. You think I'm playing? How many times you walk past the street and you seen somebody you know is less fortunate, you looked at him and you kept going? How many times you stopped to give him some money? I try to do it as much as I can. And if we don't understand that, if we don't get our stuff together, if we don't take advantage of this opportunity, I'm going to go back to the beginning when I told y'all, we got to learn how to increase our capacity and stop blaming it on fear. Because if we don't learn how to increase our capacity, when America does what America does, we're going to always be at the bottom. When America does what America does, we're going to always be on the bad end of the stick. When America does what America does, we're going to be another experiment that they're trying something else on. How do we know? 2020, we got to take shots. 2023, you don't got to take the shot no more. Who did the shot affect most? Us. Why? Because we need to take the shot to do what? It's the only way I know how to work. My job need me to take the shot. It ain't even that you care about the shot. It ain't even that you worried about getting sick or not. You just saying, I need to go make some money, and in order for me to make some money, I need to take the shot. So taking a shot is not even something I'm about to second guess. Even though in your head you saying, I know these people ain't never did nothing to benefit me. You ain't trust that in the beginning. But because you understood it was your job and your nature, you was like, yo, I gotta do it. And you convinced yourself. And I wasn't there to tell you, don't do it, because I know one thing. You gotta feed your family. And sometimes we gotta do what we don't want to do to feed our family. But I do know in your heart of hearts, you ain't trusting people. I know in your heart of heart you ain't trust them. I know in your heart of heart you prayed every night, Lord Jesus, please don't let me grow another finger. Lord Jesus, please don't let me grow another foot. Because I don't trust these people. They ain't never did right by me. I know they ain't never did right by me. But Lord, this rent got to get paid. Lord, these bills got to get paid. Lord, my children still got to go to have a birthday. Lord, I still want my children to have. So you was put in a position where you ain't had no other option. I'm telling you, you got to learn with this game right now so you can have options. I ain't talking about money, I'm talking about options. I ain't talking about investing, I'm talking about freedom. I ain't talking about just buying stocks, I'm talking about owning companies that shape how America is built. And if you don't renegotiate the contract, guess what? By default, they're going to put whatever contract they won't put on you. I just want to help some people get free. My method ain't always the most poetic. Sometimes it may hurt. Sometimes it may punch you in the gut. But guess what? Sometimes we need the gut punch because the people around us be too passive. The people around us, they okay in the BS that we doing. The people around us know we live in check to check, but they gonna tell us, yep, them red bottoms, cold-blooded, they look nice on you. The people around us live in check to check, but they gonna tell us, girl, let's go take a trip. The people around us, they one check away from falling under, but guess what? They got 500, 600, 700 credit scores, but guess what? They don't know how to maximize the 700 credit score. They just gonna die with the 700 credit score. People around us don't know the game, and if nobody ain't gonna teach us the game, and nobody's gonna show us the game, then we just gonna be victims, yo. And we got too many of us that's been victorious for us to settle being victims. So at Trappin Tuesday, our goal is to do one thing and one thing only. Ensure that you are intentional about building wealth so you be the last generation to get it out the mud so everybody after you can get it out the market. I promise you that. Woo, let's go, y'all. Go a little further, man. All right, so let's go a little further. I just went through that without even looking at it. That'd be for y'all, not for me. I'll go back so y'all can see it, though. Let's go back one more. Let's go back. All right, so the U.S. dollar was first printed in 1914. That's when the first Federal Reserve Bank was created. The next one was the Allies paid the U.S. I didn't go over this, but you can look at it. It's dope. The U.S. Allies paid the U.S. to supply gold during World War I, propelling the U.S. became the largest holder of gold. At one point, America was the largest holder of gold. Number 3, countries pegged their currency to the dollar, meaning people attached their currency to the dollar because the dollar has strength. Number 4, the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, reported that 59% of all foreign bank reserves are dominated in U.S. dollars. And number 5, despite its position in the global markets, the U.S. isn't the strongest world currency, ranking number 10 on the list. Let's just talk about usage. So what happens is, even though America is 59% used, what happened is we have smaller countries who are now saying, you know what, we can't. Because what happened with America is they've been laying a hammer on people. America has been saying, you know what, if you get in trouble, we're going to sanction you in American dollars. So what little countries have been trying to do is, now remember, America has the largest world, the most central banks hold American money. But remember, there's little bitty countries that's saying, yo, we don't want to get sanctioned by America no more. We don't want America to put their foot on our necks if we do something wrong, and we got to pay what little money we do have in American dollars. So if your country, let's say your country is, the American dollar is 7 of your dollars to 1 American dollar, and America put $30 million of sanction on you, that money got to come in the form of American money, not your money. So So when America put sanctions on Russia and $300 billion, that's equivalent to $300 billion in American dollars, not Russian dollars. So that's why Russia like, we got to come from China. What's up? I'll sleep with you and them because I ain't trying to keep. So that's what that means, y'all. Let's go a little further. All right, banks ain't got no money. So as of last week, U.S. banks have said $620 billion of unrealized losses on their books. So $620 billion of losses on their books. Most U.S. banks are strong enough to withstand the paper losses, unrealized gains, but they're not strong enough to withstand the real losses. There's a difference between taking a loss on paper and then actually realizing the loss. An unrealized loss means you ain't try to cash it out. A realized loss when the people of the $600 billion go to the bank and say, give me my money, the bank gonna say, yo, we broke. They gonna say,
come on, I'm broke, baby. I ain't got no money.
Bullshit.
I see it shine.
I don't care what you got, but I see it on my thing. The thing say I got this much in there. Go get my money. We ain't got it. And that's when black people flip out. What you mean you ain't got it? All right, let's go a little further. So this was it right here. Let's go a little further. Boom. So here's the banks right here that have unrealized gains. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, U.S. Bank, Bank of Brooklyn, Truist, Citibank, J.P. Morgan, PNC, and every bank has losses, but we can see How they go. You want yours to be somewhere in the top of percentile because it's saying that they can withstand a loss. All right, let's go a little further. How y'all feeling tonight? Wait, what? I feel like I'm up here preaching. Can we get it to it? Tootie, give me a little beat. How you feel, bro? He might be asleep. Tootie like, I'm tired of you, bro. I told you 2.5 hours. Tootie, give me something, baby. What are you doing? There you go. Speed it up a little bit. There we go. Let the people feel something. I like that. He be putting his name in my tracks. I like that, Tootie. That's all you do all day anyway. How y'all feeling tonight? Y'all enjoying the show? We trapping? Y'all feel the energy? There's energy up in here, y'all. I love it up in here, man. I ain't lying, man. I love it up in here, man. This is truly, I want y'all to know, man, this is dedicated to y'all. You know, if it wasn't for y'all, it wouldn't be no Wall Street Trap. If it wasn't for y'all, it wouldn't be no Wall Street looks like us now. So all my success is our success. And I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. I get up here for 2.5 hours every day, not because we're making a killing off doing this, but because I actually love doing it. Like everybody that's leaving here, all 65 people that's leaving here, all 2,300 people that's online right now, every Tuesday I get a joy out of you saying, yo, when I left there, I am financially refueled. I don't want you to leave here just motivated. I don't want you to leave here inspired. I want you to leave here knowing more than when you left, when you came. And I want you to have actionable tools, actual tools that you can apply. No matter what it is, 1 tool, 2 tools. If you can apply some when you leave here, yo, we did our job. All right, cut the track, Tootie. All right, so watch this, man. Coca-Cola, for all my OGs, my Jack and Coke lovers, my Jack and Coke on the rocks, for my OGs. They give you the Jack and Coke ready mix. They say, look, we got the right amount of Coke and the right amount of Jack. All you need is the ice, baby. So Coca-Cola and Jack Daniels actually just came with a ready-made drinks. It's available now in the U.S. I actually want to see what this did. When they did announce this, Jack Daniels is a stock you can own. It did go down, but Coke stock did go up a little bit because they are the predominant brand. The brand actually have 7% alcohol. Yo, that is high. I don't drink alcohol, but yo, that is a lot of drink in the can. Yo, that's a lot of, I'm letting everybody know. George. Sobriety test. I would tell y'all this story, but I ain't. We're going to leave it in house. We're going to leave it in house. We're going to leave it in house. All right, so let's go a little further. All right, so this was a big deal right here. So y'all heard about this. I was supposed to do this last week, but it's definitely something I want to come back to. So the WWE and UFC have came up with a deal. Now, we all know that Vince McMahon was trying to sell WWE. What he did was he sold 51% of the group that owns UFC called Endeavor Group. Ticker symbol END. But they're coming together to create a new company. Excuse me. They're creating a new company where inside of the company, Endeavor will own 51% of the company. WWE will own 49% of the company. The deal was valued at, UFC was valued at, WWE was valued at $9.3 billion. UFC was valued at, I want to say, $12 billion. Last year alone, UFC made last year alone, WWE made $1 billion last year alone. And I didn't realize that the WWE has a cult-like following. Like, I thought once you got older, like, you stopped looking at it. And then I realized when I was in prison, them dudes used to be really, like, jumping off the top rack. I'm like, bro, y'all crazy. Bro, y'all got all the mattresses on the floor, bro, to jump. And then when I started doing powerbomb, I said, bro, that is odd. He broke his back, dog. What you doing? You got to go to the infirmary now. How you going to explain that, bro? You can't explain that. He don't got health insurance in here, bro. So we saw that, but it will trade under ticker symbol TKO. I will like to watch this a little bit because I truly think that this has so much potential. If ran right, Now, what I will say is this. The people who own UFC have done a great job from Endeavor Group, not Dana White, but the Endeavor Group as a whole, because they own it. They've done a great job at turning that whole business around. Like the way they give matches every week, every other week there's a pay-per-view. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And they keep you enthralled in what they got going on. So Vince McMahon, I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, even though it's a $1 billion group, he gave up ownership at 77 years old. He gave up ownership because he see with that company in the next 3 years together, they can definitely be a powerhouse. Remember, they just created the XFL football. That's going to fall under that too. I'm not saying it's going to compete with the NFL, but guess what? For people who love football, that's something else for you to watch. So it's something about the ability to grow a company that's crazy. And I think Vince did it because he was looking for a buyer. And then when you find somebody, 49%, would you rather own a whole grape or half of a watermelon? I'll take half the watermelon any day in a situation like that. So just wanted to put that out there because I thought it was a real interesting look for people to look at. I think if done right, because UFC is growing, there's always a new star. There's always something. I think they just said the fight they had this weekend, they had $11 million at the gate. 11 million at the gate in Miami. 11 million at the gate. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. You don't think so? Crazy. That's crazy, right? 11 million at the gate in Miami, in the Miami Stadium. He was like, yo, that beat Madison Square numbers. It's hard to beat Madison Square numbers. Like, Madison Square is the mecca of, so when he said that, I was like, all right, like, they on to something. They on to something. So I'm not saying I'm going to invest in it, but it's something I definitely would pay attention to, because also what I do like about the WWE is their audience gets younger and younger. So anytime a company has a revolving door of clientele that they can keep bringing in at a younger age, that's always good. So if you think about YouTube, one of the reasons why I like the Alphabet brand is because the YouTube audience gets younger and younger. Like if you go ask a 6-year-old right now what they want to be, they're probably going to say, I want to be a YouTuber. You put 10 of them together, at least 4 of them going to say they want to be YouTubers. 2 of them give me millionaires. The other ones ain't going to just be consistent enough. But anytime you have a company that consistently, that doesn't have a problem with bringing in new clientele, you have a great business model. All right, let's go a little further. All right, so we talked about it right here. Let's go a little further. All right, so I want y'all to understand this right here. This is important. The top 10% of America owns 89% of the stocks in play. I want y'all to think about that again. So I never argue with people about what's the best asset class to own. That's never an argument for me. I think you should own stocks. I think you should own real estate. I think you should own gold. I think you should own businesses. I think it's a thing. But when you look at the billionaires of America, at least 50% of their wealth will be in stocks. At least. If you go look at the top 10 richest people in the world, 70% of their wealth is in stocks. Here's why. They own stock in their own company at large proportions. So you can see Elon Musk lose $40 billion in a day based on stock price. But when the stock price goes back up, he becomes the richest man in the world. Bernard Arnault, the man who owns Louis Vuitton, Moet and Hennessy, the owner that owns LVMH. I think it was 79 or 82%, I don't want to lie, of his money was in the LVMH brand. That means, 12% was somewhere else? The majority of his money was in stock in his company. And it's saying that I ain't willing to own a great business for a long time. Mark Zuckerberg created one business. and then just bought as much stock in that business as he could, and then just rolled it out. And every now and then he just sell 1 million shares, 2 million shares, get him some liquid cash. But the best thing you could do is put your money in equities. The best thing you can do is put your money in some type of asset. For me, I just followed the blueprint, y'all. I'm gonna just keep it 100 with y'all. I sent my partner Chad from 85, so he texted me today. He said, bro, is it true that you keep your money? You keep like 10% of your money in your checking? I said, bro, yeah, sure. I showed him my $8,900 in my checking account. I don't have nothing that serious going on in my life. Just keeping it real. I sent him a screenshot. Yeah. He said, damn, I got some readjusting to do. I said, bro, why would I need all that money on me? Why would I need money on me like that? I don't live that kind of lifestyle. Number two, if I'm following the blueprint of the people who are wealthy in America, ain't none of them sitting on a lot of cash. We the only one got to sit on the cash and look, oh, I gotta check my checking account. I gotta make sure the money in there. I gotta make sure it's there. I gotta make sure it's there. I told a story. I said, man, I made my first $1 million. I was scared to leave out the house. Traumatized. Traumatic. That was traumatic for me. I felt like the whole world knew I had made $1 million. And I ain't told nobody. I just was looking at the account like, well, I'm not leaving out of here. No, indeed, no. Look at that thing again. And I knew I couldn't get it out the bank. I was like, well, I gotta do something with that thing, man. I gotta do something with this. This don't sit right with me. I was uncomfortable. So look, how much can I do at one time? 100? Bet. I need 7 deposits. I need to make 7 transactions. I need to go build some land over. I need to do something. And so as I studied them, I realized that, they're not sitting on cash like that. Now, of course, when you growing and you building, you in that building phase, you need liquidity. You need the liquidity. So I'm not saying that, but I need you to take on a mindset that I don't want to just be sitting on this cash just to be looking at it in my account. I need it to be moving because I know for a fact, one, the bank not going, if something happened with the bank, they not giving me my money. They only insuring $250. So why would I be sitting on $3 million in cash, $2 million? Why would I be sitting on that? Okay, am I going to spread it out in 10 different banks? Who wants to go to 10 different banks? I got time to do that. Man, let me put that stuff in the market, man. Let me go buy a house. Let me go buy a complex. Let me go buy something. Let me go put some money in. Hey, you want an account? Yeah, start my daughter account. Let me move the money around. So I want y'all to, this is real. You can look at it. The wealthy own more stocks and explains the stock ownership in America. This was in the end of 2021. I'm promised in 2022 it went up through the roof because they printed another $8 trillion. The wealthy people of America increased their wealth by how much in 2022? By 2023, $5 trillion. Guess where that money at? In the market. Guess what's gonna happen on the other side of this situation we're in right now? The wealthy gonna increase their wealth some more. You got the option. You can keep crying about ain't nobody got no money, or you can find a way to make your money grow. The choice is yours. Damn, that was good. I like when I go on a little quick small rant like that. Little small rant, please Tootie, y'all. The little small rants keep Tootie happy. The long rants is when Tootie be, you hear me? Let's go a little further, Tootie. All right, so this was good for me, and I wanted y'all to see this. So Eli Lilly, the king of pharmaceutical. I say they're the king of pharmaceutical not because I just own the company, it's because they do a lot. Here's what they just did. They came out with this obesity drug. This obesity drug, in 72-week time span, it helped people lose weight by 22%. Its closest competitor did it by 17%. The drug is called, I can't pronounce it, Majard. I'll just say that. It has potential. Watch this. And I didn't realize that obesity was a real thing in America. I didn't realize it. So watch this. The drug has the potential to be one of the biggest sellers of all time in the pharmaceutical business. As an individual drug, it has the potential to bring in $25 billion in sales annually. We're not talking about for the whole business. We're talking about one drug. We're talking about one drug bringing in $25 billion in sales, y'all. That's a lot of people that's trying to not be obese, rather than just fixing the eating habit. What happens is people have traumatic issues, which makes them eat. The chemical release. Remember we talked about something triggers when you get sad, you eat. When something triggers, there's an issue with that. But watch this. Another reason why I own this company is because I know that I own Eli Lilly because here's what I do like about the company. One, they did something during the pandemic that I like. They cut the price of their insulin drastically, and they helped a lot of people. They helped their workers out. I was like, okay, this is cool. This is not me justifying it, but I was like, oh, that's kind of cool when the CEO do that, when you see people cutting businesses. But then also, right here, up next, they have an Alzheimer's drug, which if approved could bring in $12 billion minimally annually. Now, the dope part about this is this. America has been trying for 20 years to create a drug to defeat Alzheimer's or Alzheimer's. Everyone has failed. This drug will 100% revolutionize the game. But not only that, these two drugs will change the game, not for them, but for everybody. But then they also have 2 more drugs in phase 3. Phase 3 is 100%. If you invest in a pharmaceutical company or a drug maker, if a company gets to phase 3, you could almost bet it's going to hit the market. But not only that, but Eli Lilly is also the #1 dealer of insulin in America. Just thought I'd put that out there. Let's go next. All right. And I always like to say this because America is a drug pusher. So America has more money for drugs, but it's the American way. So what happens is America has increased its spend on drugs, and I'm going to tell you why I use this, from 2016 to 2022. But watch this. Joe Biden just spent $5 billion on COVID vaccine drugs. $5 billion. Go to the next slide. Biden terminates COVID national emergency and also approves $5 billion for next-gen COVID vaccines. Joe Biden, we are struggling to make the minimum $80 billion payment for the debt ceiling. Why would you approve another $5 billion for some COVID vaccines, bro? I don't understand it. But the one thing America will do is push some drugs and then push the bad food that make you sick and then sell you some more drugs. And because most people are often too stuck in their ways to change. We oftentimes don't care about our health until we're sick. America knows that, and because they know that, they're going to play on that. All right, let's go a little further. All right, who has the power? I talked to y'all about this. Here it is, the American dollar, the euro, the yen, the sterling, and the yuan. We're talking about that. Let's go a little further. All right, so China did something that was real crazy to me. They told Taiwan, we just practicing. They surrounded the island with warships, fake launched some missiles out, and said, yo, we just practicing. Practice? So now America has to do what? We got to defend them. It's a must that we defend them. We got to defend Taiwan because 70% of the chips made in the world is owned by Taiwan. If China takes over Taiwan, China gets your data. If China gets your data, oh boy, it's a game changer. So America launched some Navy ships to go out there to compete. China said, we don't care. We with all the smoke. They did that while Taiwan's leader was over here. She was over here having some deals, talking, just political talk. Same time, France is over in China trying to settle a dispute like, bro, y'all need to chill out. China just on that, they want smoke. At least they acting like they want smoke. And somebody gonna get some smoke, and I don't know who it is, but it's gonna be felt. This how I know we in a global disruption right now. Tensions are high everywhere, y'all. And because tensions are high everywhere, somebody got to pay the price. And I promise, when we at war, when we doing something, the people in the lower middle class feel it more than anybody. I'm going to keep pumping that lower middle class for y'all. I don't like to say poor. I don't like to say in poverty, because we ain't in poverty. Not all of us. I come from it. But for the majority, most people in here, working class, middle class, striving to be wealthy, probably some successful business owners in here. But I promise you, none of that don't matter if we go to war and you ain't got your stuff in order. Because you don't know the America that has to now defend itself. We don't know that America. We don't know that America that's now fighting for the #1 spot. We don't know that America. All we know is the America that's big dog. There's a different type of America. You ever heard, I don't want to say ladies don't know, but the fellas, y'all know this for sure. Some teams play different from behind, and some teams play different. Like when you got the lead, you be, but when you play from behind, they're not the same without the lead. We don't know what America is like not #1. Ladies, I ain't mean no harm. I wasn't being feminist at all. I promise I wasn't. Misogynistic, there we go. Misogynistic, there we go. Thank you, Jose. Jose be helping me out, y'all. All right, let's go a little further. All right, so as a trap, I always want y'all to know something. There's always a stock in every country. So what I did was I wrote down 11 stocks in 11 countries that are some dope countries. Now, I'm not telling you to invest in it, but if you always want to invest outside the country, we're talking about Apple in America. The Canadian Railroad is definitely dope. Siemens in Germany, SoFi in France. I'm going to tell you something. United Kingdom and in Europe, well, in the UK for sure, not France, Shell is big over there. When I went to InvestFest over there, I saw 3 things. Shell and what's this bank? HBSC. I said, oh, this is crazy. China, India, and Australia, just in case you want to know it. These are some dope companies in these countries. Let's go a little further. All right, I want y'all to understand this. This is important for me. When we invest in the dividends, a lot of people are dividend investors. I want to point out some blind spots for you. Sustainability. A high dividend yield may not be sustainable for over the long term. A lot of times when people invest in dividend companies, they invest in those companies, but they like the high yields. Look at these companies right here that have high yields, and they are not great companies. The balance sheet, income statement, everything is trash. Next, concentration. High yields are clustered in certain industries and the stock market sectors, meaning in the REITs you may see high yields, but in other areas you may see low yields. I know HSBC is global, but they are big in the United Kingdom. That's what I'm saying. They got one on Wall Street, but they was all on planes and everything when I was in the UK. They was on planes, they was on buildings. The more a company advertises somewhere, you know how big they are. So over here in America, you see Apple billboards everywhere. You see them everywhere. You see them a lot overseas, but you see Apple everywhere over here. But HSBC, and when I went to the UK, it was everywhere. It was on every building. It was on 6 out of 10 airplanes. I was like, damn, they must got some bread over here. Again, investment risk. In many cases, high dividend yields can be a candidate for a company that's struggling. We call that a dividend trap. Meaning, if a company pays a high yield, but the company has a bad balance sheet, that company probably is struggling. And last but not least, high dividend payouts can also reduce the growth of a business. As an investor, I truly don't look for companies with high yields because that can mean 1 or 3 things. Either 1, the company don't got no more growth, 2, it's a REIT and they're paying out too much money, or 4, I'm at risk of that dividend being cut. Does that make sense? Let's go a little further. All right, man, we got a phone call right quick. Let's go. George, give me that smoothie. That smoothie.
Trap.
What up?
Man, I know you say Meta your company, man. So I'm looking for a leap call on Meta to fill in that 248 gap in the chart. I want to know if you think this is overstretched or you think it's possible with all the money that he just put in with all those blue checks. Let me know.
So I actually think that it will pull back, but I think after earnings, you will see a great run-up of Meta. After earnings, you're going to see how it is You're going to see the money they bring in. And then after that, I think it can definitely be a great option call. Let's go.
Trap was good. A couple episodes back, you was talking about pushing pistols. Now, with the relations with China and Russia the way they are, looking into these defense stocks, besides government contracts, what should we be looking into with the Raytheons, the Lockheed Martins, the Boeings? What other financials or statements, something in the balance sheet should we be looking for to decide on which stocks we pick?
Contracts. Who has the most contracts? If you're looking at Raytheon, you're looking at Lockheed Martin. Who has the most new contracts? If you can find that, you can find a company that's sustainable. So if you think about it, Lockheed Martin and Boeing just actually lost a contract to, I forgot this company name. I forgot the company name. They just lost the contract, so that's not good. Who's getting more contracts? The more contracts, the better, especially when we go on the wall. Next.
Peace. My name is Aisha. So my question is, I have in my 401k or long-term portfolio several ETFs, including XLF and CIBR. A few episodes back, I do remember you talking about the fund flows going out of the, I believe it was the US ETFs, and an increase in the fund flows in the foreign ETFs. So because those two ETFs are long-term positions, my question is, since the financial sector is down, would this be a good time to increase the position in XLF? I also got into the cybersecurity one, the CIBR, because I believe it's a necessity. However, the expense ratio is a little higher than I would like, and the fund flow is not as impressive. Or would you pivot to something else? Thank you.
You can tell she a trapper. Let's give her a round of applause, yo. Only trappers come with them questions like that, you hear me? Them questions be surgical, you hear me? So I will be mindful of XLF in case, that's the financial sector. I would be mindful of increasing it, but I do think that JP Morgan, Bank of America will be the big winners on the backside of what's going on with the banks. I think that they will be a winners. I actually bought more JP Morgan, so if you want to pay the safe place with XLF, I don't have a problem with you doing that, but I want you to do it incrementally. Always wait till a pullback, see if we can get it under the 50-day moving average, close to the 120-day moving average, and I think we'll be fine. Great question, Queen. God damn. Next. We got one more? Supposed to be what? Oh, okay, it's a question. All right, so a few episodes, everybody going to a few episodes ago, and I got a question, Jose. Why everybody do their camera in the car? Everybody ask their question, and I've been noticing that, bro. What's up? They comfortable in the car? Are they comfortable in the car? Everybody be in the car when they ask their question. What's up, Trap? Bro, you had a red light, chill. All right, man. A few episodes ago, you mentioned getting out many REITs given the economic conditions, stags and over realty. I didn't say that. With holdings in AMZ, Walmart, Costco, and Dollar General in these REITs, why aren't they safe recession resistant? Of course. So I didn't say get out of all REITs, so you talk about stag is more industrial. The reason why I said I didn't like O and the reason why I got out of O is because we looked at the companies that they enter. First company, we talked about it. Walmart. Walmart is cutting 200 stores. Another company they own, Walgreens, they're cutting 100 stores. Another company they own, Lifetime Fitness, they're cutting 100 stores. But even if we go a little further, you bought O Realty because of the dividend, right? Pretty sure you did. They pay out a $3.62 dividend a year. You think it's a great dividend. But if you go look at the cash flow statement for O Realty, you'll see that the last 5 years, the cash flow statement have went minus $6 billion, minus $8 billion, minus $12 billion, minus $3 billion, minus another few billion. Why would I want to own a company that doesn't have positive free cash flow but paying out a $3 dividend? It don't make sense to me. That's hustling backwards. That's asking myself to lose money. Not only is the company going to have to take on more debt to pay the dividend, because they call themselves the dividend company, they probably won't cut the dividend, so they'll take on more debt. So am I willing to own a bad company because of dividend? Nope, because if we go back a couple slides, what did we say? A company with bad earnings and bad fundamentals is not a great dividend company to own. Next, if you look over the last 12 months, you'll see that stock has only fluctuated between $62 and $68. Right now, it's probably $61. Over the last year and a half, 2 years, why would I want a company that only go up between $1 and $7 over the last 2 years just because I want a $3 dividend? It don't make sense to me. That's called backwards investing. I'm in it for returns. So a company like Stag, I don't have a problem with because they build businesses for Amazon. Also, if you're going to go to REITs, what I did say was you need to get out of companies that have office REITs. Why? Because companies in New York, where most of the office REITs are in big cities, they're cutting back to 4-hour work weeks. They're doing more work from home. So those office spaces are now empty, and it was just a segment on the news where they said it would take them more money to turn those offices into condos, so now those buildings may end up just being empty. So you're now going to own a company that has office REITs, and when we're owning the REIT, one of the things we want to look at is reoccurring contracts, renewing of leases. Well, if the company is losing leases, that means they're losing money. If the company is losing leases and losing money but still increasing the dividend, that is 100% a sign for failure, and I, the Wall Street Trapper, will not co-sign for failure. God damn, that was good. That was good, y'all? All right, cool. God damn. All right, what we got next? All right, so let's do this segment here is called Breaking Down a Brick, y'all. It's when we take a company and we break it down, give you an idea of the company so you can see it. This is not a recommended stock pick, but what it is me just giving you an idea to help you understand companies. This company that we are looking on right now is, drum roll, Waste Management. It's a company I love. I ain't even gonna lie. Everybody else see trash, I see money. I ain't even gonna lie. They be seeing trash, I be like, money. I see that green and yellow anywhere, I be happy, you hear me? All right, so Waste Management is in the utility sector. It is actually the largest waste management company. They just occupied another 80 acres of land for landfills. Let's go a little further. So I like to always run through this test right here. Are they trapping? Are they inconsistent? Or are they slipping? So revenue has grown year over year for the last 5 years. They are trapping. Net income growing year over the last 5 years. They've kind of been inconsistent. Cash flow from operating, meaning cash flow they're making from their number one business, has increased year over year for the last 5 years. They're trapping. Free cash flow is positive for the last 5 years. They trapping. Gross margin is consistent and growing over the last 5 years. That means the margins at which they're making money at is growing, which makes them pretty much better than their competitors. Is growing, and earnings per share has grown for the last 5 years. They've been a little bit inconsistent. That's just the performance. Let's go a little further. What I like to look at is the return on equity. This is important. The industry return on equity is 12%. Their return on equity is 31%. They blowing their competitors out the water. That means that a company can take something and bring it back, right? Also, return on invested capital, meaning they can invest money for us, is at 9.45% year over year. It's kind of been inconsistent, but 9% I won't pass on it. I actually like this company, and they've been growing their dividends. Let's go a little further. And we just dig a little deeper. We look at the financial health of the company. It's pretty good. Give us some checks. The industry average is at about 18.8, and they are right at 29.9%. Let's go a little further. And we come to income statement. Free cash flow has been growing over the last 7 years. Net income has been growing. I like when a company free cash flow, but it decreased a little bit over year, but it did spike in 2021. 2022, it came down a bit. That's where the inconsistency was at. But I still see that people have definitely still been putting out trash. Let's go a little further. Revenue has decreased a little bit, but has been consistent. But in 22, it picked back up. Earnings per share peaked up high in 2018, dropped down in 2019, 2020, got new management in 2021. They've been growing. So I'm not mad at this company. Let's go a little further. And we look at it right here. I always like to look at PE ratio, fair PE ratio. That's where it's average at. It's below that, it's at 29. Still kind of expensive right now. When we look at the earnings compared to its competitors, Rollins is a good company if you don't know. Rollins is the Terminex people. Y'all saw them before. It's red and white. Y'all saw this company before, but y'all don't remember it. It's a red and white company. The Orkin people. The Orkin man. Y'all heard of that before? The Orkin man, the termite. I'm saying the Terminator. My dude like, nah, Trap, I ain't never heard of the Terminator company. What you talking about, my guy? Where the hell you from, Trap? You hear me? I'm from New Orleans, dog. I'm talking about Terminex, man. You know the people, man, the Orkin man. But that's a good company. Rollins is the name of the company. It's a good company. Waste management at 29, but they're real expensive. You can see there 50 times 142%. I don't like Republic Service. I don't really like them. They trash. But I definitely like waste management as a business. Let's go. All right. So this segment is brought to you by Certified Trapper of the Week. Let me say something right quick. If you want to join Trappers Anonymous or if you want to join the Triple Beam team, man, Jose is putting the link in the chat. Still putting the link in the chat, man. So this week we just did a call for Master of the Triple Beam. We just gave them a 10 stock checklist that they love. So what I do is I give them 10 stocks that I have, that I like. It was definitely some bangers on there. And every quarter I will do that for them. They also get access to any stock picks I add to the Recession Portfolio or any option plays, but just being in the Patreon is dope. Jose, we just put the NFL. When I went to talk to the NFL, we just put that in there. So they get some content that everybody don't get, just to be fair. But we want to talk about that. So wanted to put that out there. Certified Trapper of the Week. This is one of my favorite parts of the week. Is because we get to highlight people in our culture that doesn't get talked about a lot. So this week we're going to talk about an amazing queen by the name of Maggie L. Walker. She is so phenomenal. So she wasn't just the first African-American woman. She was the first woman, period, to own a bank. First of all, let's just clap for that. God damn. God damn. I got a lady, one of the queens here gonna own a bank. They're like, nah, we ain't with the banks. That might be a dope idea. Maybe you won't go bankrupt like the rest of them banks going in America. You might do good by us. I'll bank with you. So she was the first African-American woman to have a charter bank and to serve as a bank president. Her first endeavor was an insurance company that was strictly for women. She founded the St. Luke Herald. Her bank, the Penny Savers Bank, had more than 50,000 members. While other banks collapsed during the Great Depression, her bank thrived. Maggie L. Walker. What I do love about her is this too, though. I did some more research on her because I'm a rabbit hole kind of person. She resided in this town in Virginia called, help me out. It's close to Richmond. Dang, I had the name of it. But it was another Black Wall Street. It was just like a Black Wall Street. It thrived off black businesses, black banks, black hospitals, black lawyers. It was amazing. And she was a bank in that area. And so it let me know that while we do give Tulsa, Oklahoma, its right as Black Wall Street, there are so many other affluent black communities that we don't acknowledge, probably because we don't know of. But this area in Richmond, Virginia, and I'm mad that I can't get it off the top of my head, was prominent. And there we go, Jackson Ward. Jackson Ward. There we go. Jackson Ward, thank you for trapping. Jackson Ward is a phenomenal place. You know, it kind of, you know, with everything else when colonizers come in, they do what they do. But no person, she definitely was for the women, and she definitely provided a great service to us. So shout out to Maggie L. Walker. All right, man, y'all know this is my other favorite part, man. It is 100% the well track. So it's by Jay, and I'm not gonna lie, somebody was like, Trap, you did Jay like a couple weeks ago. Well, when you just spitting like this, you can't deny it. Everybody else will talk about X pills. And drugs. I don't want to talk about drugs. I want to talk about making money. I want to talk about wealth. So, here we go. So, Jay said to us, let's put it up there. He said, this was gangster. This was gangster. This was powerful. I don't buy out the bar. I buy the nice spot. I got the right stock. I got the stockbrokers moving. I got the stockbrokers that's moving it like white tops. See? That same thing I heard. I said, when I heard it. You feel? I was like, why I ain't pay attention to this? You feel me? What was I missing? And you know what I'm saying? Like, and for me, it exemplifies where we should be at. I'm not mad at clubs. I used to go to clubs. Recently, maybe, you know, early and late last year, but my life has pivoted. And as I have gotten into leadership mode, I realized for me, not for nobody else, but for me, that ain't where I need to be at. Just me. So when you hear this saying, I don't buy out the bar, it made me think that instead of buying out the bar, why not just own it? As a collective unit. And I thought about the money me and my partner spent on sections, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, buying bottles for the whole club multiple times. I could have got my own spot. But then I thought a little further and I asked myself, a bunch of people drinking 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. Don't too many good things happen. As a man in my position, I want to remove myself from harm's way. Nothing wrong with the club. But at this part of my life, I had to ask myself, what's right with the club? I'm 40. I like to chill in my house. I like to come here. I like to read. I like to spend time with my daughter. That makes more sense to me. So when Jay says something like, I got the right stock, I got stockbrokers that's moving it like white tops, that's just telling me he active in equities. That's telling me he understands the idea of what we talked about as delayed gratification. Most of us, when we are on the growth stage, we have a good time and we love showing people that we are successful and that we're becoming successful. And I have no problem with that. But then you get to a certain level where you don't care who know you're successful or not. That's when you hit peak maturity. I'm at that phase. I'm at that phase in my life where things start making sense a little bit more and I start speaking from that perspective. And as I speak from that perspective, the people who listen to me, it's vivid of what I've been through. It's vivid that Trap was in the street. It's vivid that Trap and went through the phases. Listen, I had to kill myself as a caterpillar so I could become the butterfly. I had to become vulnerable enough. I had to tell myself, yo, we giving that up so we can do this. And then I asked myself another question. How many billionaires do you know that's sitting in a club? It's just not an activity that they partake in unless they won a championship, which means they own the team that won the championship, which means you probably either own the club that you're going to or that's your partner. So for me, it just was me realizing the more mature I got, I then became a product of the decisions that I made. At a younger age, you kind of don't understand that you're a product of the decisions you make. You don't understand what that means. When you get older and you start building and you start transitioning, it's not even older, it's just when you start maturing differently, when you start seeing life differently, when you start realizing that you got so much to lose, you start putting yourself in situations that puts what you can lose in jeopardy. For me, I don't want to put that in jeopardy. And so when I see tracks like this, it truly embodies what I want to be. And it truly embodies the wealthy mindset. Shout out for Jay, man. Let's clap for that. All right, man. So this version, this is called Wise Words from the OG. And what I like to do right here is just have a conversation with everybody who's been here all night. We went on a journey. We laughed. We had fun. And I hope we broke something down today that truly helped you move forward. But despite what you've heard, despite the statistics, despite what you've been through, you are the vessels that redefine the culture within your family. You will reorchestrate how your family does business. You will reorchestrate how your family identifies the possibilities that come with wealth. But most importantly, you will introduce your family to the power of ownership. You, the one that comes to Trappin Tuesdays every week, the one that takes the courses, the one that gets on the YouTube, the person that reads the book, I promise you none of your hard work is going in vain. It may not happen right now, but I promise you it will happen. How do I know that? I am a product of it happening. You will own a plethora of assets because they become addictive. There's no feeling like knowing that your money is working for you. Once you see $1 make $2, you want to see 2 make 4. Once you see 4 make 8, you want to make 8 turn to a mill. You try to skip the middle of it. But that's okay. But the one thing that you will teach your family, and I am more than sure of this, is how to buy back their time. Freedom, ownership of your 24 hours is the most important catalyst to wealth. Today I got up, took my daughter to school, went to the gym, worked out, took a shower, went to sleep. Woke back up at 11:30 and I said, it's Trappin Tuesday. I was happy because I found peace in knowing that I own my 24 hours. I was happy. I found peace in knowing that I dictated what I did in my day. There's no dollar amount that comes with freedom. It's about how much time do you own. Because just because a person make $1 million, they can truly be a rich slave. They can still be living check to check, business transaction to business transaction. Freedom, wealth is truly how much time do I own and how many opportunities do I have access to? Access to. But in order to get there, we must endure the chastisement of making bad financial decisions along the way. Chastisement. I remember getting chastised by my grandmother And when I knew the butt women was coming, I said, okay, well, today I'm gonna get a little smarter. I'm gonna put an extra long sleeve shirt on in case she hit me on the arms. I'm gonna put an extra pair of shorts on under the jeans so he hit me on my legs. But the chastisement was necessary because I was aware of the act that I did. I'm just saying the chastisement of making bad financial decisions, you gotta be accountable for it. But the glory that comes with taking ownership of the bad financial decisions is turning those bad financial decisions into financial glory. That feeling of making your money work for you, that feeling of having those chemical releases, those endorphins, those dopamines, that high you get from seeing your money work for you, yo, that feeling will be so embedded in you, that is what takes you to the next level. There's so much significance in making that pivot. It's like a financial jubilee. When you submit to the idea that instant gratification is the thing that is weakening you on the journey, you alter everything that weakens you. For me, sometimes I'll go look at some stuff I want to buy just not to buy it and put that much money in the stock market. Because what happens is, it's not saying I don't crave the things, it's saying that I have the discipline not to buy it just because I have the money to do it and the access to do it. It's having the discipline to say no to my damn self, knowing I got the means to do it. We talking about I need to keep building on that financial trauma till it no longer exists what's inside me. I want to eradicate it. I've been poor, I've been in poverty longer than I've been successful. So that means I'm only one bad decision away from triggering the same behaviors. It's easy to blow $1 million. It's easier to blow 2. Ho said you can't buy it twice. Don't buy it at all. For the person with no financial discipline, just to be arrogant and egotistical, they'll buy it 3 times. So the more money you get, the easier it is for you to blow it. So every day I practice financial discipline. Every day. Because my mentor told me every time I say trap, we one decision away from losing it all. And I promise you, I work too goddamn hard to lose it all because I don't got no discipline. I promise you, once you get to the journey, you've come too far to lose it all because you ain't got no discipline. You don't got the discipline to tell your friends, nah, I'm gonna pass on that party. You don't got the discipline to say, nah, I don't really need to go on that trip. You don't got the discipline to tell yourself, no longer will I be a people pleaser, I'm gonna please myself. I got a movie theater in my house, y'all. For the last week, I've been locked in the movie theater. I've held 4 classes in the movie theater. Me and my daughter watched The Wuzz in the movie theater. And we happily sang, ease on down, ease on down, ease on down the road. I was at peace, y'all. Because I realized that I create my peace. And I realized that the decisions that I make either add value to my life or they take away from my life. And so I'm gonna ask you this question. How many decisions you are making at this moment that are either paralyzing you or setting you back? Be it further in progress, be it in money, and I challenge you to cut those decisions. I challenge you to adapt the idea that I'm going to delay the gratification now so it can grow my possibilities and my potential in the future. Because the future's bright, y'all. No matter what's going on with the dollar, no matter what's going on with China, I'm telling you the world going to keep spinning. I'm telling you, you're going to keep breathing breath. No matter who in office, no matter who the president is, no matter who the mayor is, no matter which country number one, no matter which country number two, you still got to take care of your family. Your family still need bread and meat. Your family still need clothes. Your family still needs shelter. There still will be poor, and there still will be the people struggling. The crazy part is, the people that's poor and the people that's struggling gonna have more reasons why they poor and they struggling. They're gonna have more reasons. They got more excuses. They got more people to blame. It's Bush fault. It's Biden fault. It's Trump fault. It's China fault. It's Russia fault. But when will it be your fault? When will it be your fault? When will you be the reason why you not where you want to be? Because I'm going to just keep it real. I love Barack. Appreciate the fact that he was the first black president, but I don't never remember no president coming to my hood helping us. I ain't never seen them. They went to the colleges, salute. They created Obamacare and all that, salute. But they ain't never came to the trenches. They ain't never came to the hood. At least I ain't never seen it. And they damn sure wasn't in my hood. But we do a toy drive every year. We give away between $30,000 and $40,000 in toys, out of pocket. We trying to set up, I ain't gonna say we trying, we in the process, we gonna set up Wallstreet Look Like Us Now Foundation so we can start putting financial literacy in the hoods for free. I want to start the reentry program so we can help dudes coming home from jail for free. I ain't ever seen no president do that, but guess what? I know what it's like in my hood. I know what they going through in my hood, but you know what it's like in your family. You know what your family going through. You can save your family. Ain't nobody else gonna save your family but you, so stop putting that on somebody else. You take sole control of that. You take hold of that. You make that bold move. You be that person that changes the dynamic. You be the one to make the sacrifice, because no family cannot build wealth if one person don't say, I'm gonna put this on my back. But if everybody keeps shifting the weight, nobody make it possible, then who gonna be the one? So I want you to look at yourself right now and say, if not me, who on my lineage, who I see coming up, gonna be the one to do it? I'm just saying. Like, you going to the classes, you taking the courses, you just gotta make a little more time. You gotta be a little more dedicated. You the one. But I want you to look back and say, all right, I see my nieces, I see my nephew, I see my sons, I see my daughters. I'm just saying, if I don't do it, which one of them gonna do it? And if they do it, how long we gotta wait for them to do it? Let's take control, y'all. We got the opportunity right now. Stock market is on sale, assets on sale. You just gotta find the ones that's on sale. You gotta do the due diligence. It ain't easy. You think the Bushes, you think the Kennedys, you think them people just generational for no reason? Nah, somebody had to make the decision. And then after one person made the decision, guess what? They ain't just passed down the money. They pass down the information, they pass down the behavior, they pass down the patterns, they pass down the blueprint. They turn their last name into an asset. So before we go, I ask you this question. Will you turn your last name into an asset? And if you don't, who will use you and your family as their asset? Because the people who working for money, they work for people who know how to print money. And once you become a money printer, I promise to God, you can buy your freedom back. And that freedom is an acquired taste, but it's the most expensive thing you will ever buy. It costs more than any shoes you will buy. It costs more than any house you will buy. It costs more than any car you will ever buy. Freedom is the most expensive thing that you will ever buy. But man, it's the most luxurious thing you'll ever buy. So at Trappin Tools, our goal is to help you create legacy. Our goal is to help you build your investing confidence. Our goal, our mission is to make sure that you're intentional about building wealth so that you're the last generation to get it out the market, out the mud, so that everybody behind you can get it out the market. It's another episode of Trappin Tuesdays, man. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Welcome. Yeah, we love it. We love it. So we want y'all to like and subscribe. We want you to download episode 37 right now. Episode 38 drops Thursday on Apple and all podcast platforms. Make sure you subscribe to the Wall Street Looks Like Us Now network. And I will see y'all next week. Tootie, turn the beat up, my guy.